that is some nice love to start the day. I'm going to intentionally delay shining that out so I have an excuse to play that again in just a moment. But it is game 1 in a best of 5. We got the boys from Splice spawning here in the bottom left. It's Brother Stats.
And in the top right, I can feel the spirit from Brother Solar.
I love, by the way, Stats got a lot of cool accolades in yesterday's Lima League and clips and the win. And then he went on to stream immediately afterwards. I love Stats. Yeah. But here's that excuse.
That's all you mean. But yeah, that base.
I think I can guess who this is from because it's $10 coming in from fucking Rifkin feeding Maynard.
Thank you.
$10 is a good way to start off our morning. Thank you indeed. Maynard and I got blown away by you guys yesterday too. Like, I know that the bits came in crazy amounts and it actually made one of the games really annoying, but I can't get over how we talked to it as well, by the way. Like, there were so many bits we felt bad. Like, here, holy moly, we want to share some of this with you too, right? Like, yesterday was just a phenomenal day that we're definitely not going to top or anything. So I just, again, for those who participated yesterday, thank you so very much again for that. I don't think we ever got to properly say that. I just wanted to take the time to say that now.
Yeah. And we know that you won't do it again, chat. Like,
no. See, you're baiting. I'm just trying to genuinely say thank you.
No. I know that you won't do it again, Chad. You don't have it in you.
You gave him a taste, guys. Man, it's flying too close to the sun right now.
Make me look like a fool if you have to, if you dare. But I know that you won't.
All right, well, whether that ends up being a self-fulfilling prophecy, bait, or whatever you want to clarify it as, one thing I do want to bring up for Stats, his whole tournament run yesterday was mostly versus Terran. In fact, it was all versus Terran except for the first match of the day that we didn't cast. So it's hard to measure how he'll do here versus Solar. If this was versus Terran, any Terran player, you name it, TY, Innovation, Gumiho, killed them all. Didn't mind. And he did it with the exact same build every single time. My only logic I'm applying to this is if he can find a solid build against Solar, I'm sure repeating that build over and over will be something he's very comfortable doing. Because again, he used like one build on 3 different top echelon Terrans yesterday that resulted in different play styles, but the opening was always the same.
Yeah, it was all the backbone was the heavy adept pressure with the oracles to back them up. It's tried and true, man.
Maynard. Nope. God damn it.
Yes. Not my fault, man. Hey, man. What's that? 500 bits? That's chump change compared to yesterday. You can't do it, chat. You can't do it.
I'm changing the fucking Jibby emote to fucking Maynard. That's what I'm gonna
do. You can't do it, chat. 500 bits is nothing.
Thank you, Jibby.
Absolutely nothing compared to yesterday.
Good morning to you, Jibby. I hope you've had a great day. What time is it in Australia?
Jimmy, actually, yeah, it's good evening. It's 10:30 here in South Australia, so 11 p.m. East Coast. A couple of devs getting caught here. One of them's going to go down. Nice little pick off there.
That's actually a pretty big pickoff too, because that's right around that time where Solar would have loved to have moved out of the base himself, and then the Adepts would have slipped in, kind of like we're seeing now. So this Queen's not going to easily deal with these ones, and they'll kill a lot of drones. Meanwhile, Solar missing the opportunity. There was not a wall off.
Yeah, there was a little bit of an open window there. A split second. Didn't jump on that opportunity. Let's go surround the Adepts in the main here. Adepts going to try and burn down as many drones as they can before they go down, inevitably, which they will. They get 3 before they go down, and also a bit of a scout. They see the Evo Chamber and the Baneling Nest, but most Zergs are going to want to get that Baneling Nest down for, for the most part, because he knows that he's going to be up against gateway pressure here with the Resonating Glaives in the way. But seeing the Evo Chamber and the +1 is a nice scout.
I think for his stats too, even just picking up a couple drone kills after seeing how solid Solar's defense was not too bad either. Not like it was crazy kills, and Solar's not losing out on the income drastically because of it. It's one of the stats has got the cool power of Chrono Boost, but now that Solar's caught up in drones, we'll start seeing the income even out a little bit, especially with the third base helping spread that out. For stats though, actually, it's worth noting he has continued to invest in a lot of army units here. The rope was finishing up in a second. I'm sure we'll see a Warp Prism too. But not a third base. So he's looking to keep applying some pressure, and frankly, it's, there's that Warp Prism. It's something he can do. If he can dance between the bases well enough, Banelings be damned, Adepts are hard to deal with.
He's going to get around here. Splits from stats, though. Pretty much perfect. Only loses 1 Adept there. 2 Banelings, or 3 Banelings go down. He is gonna, well, I mean, the surface area is as good as he can hope for here, but he's desperate. He is gonna lose him. He is gonna lose him.
Get some more bits coming in from of Asia, by the way. Thank you very much for those bits.
In all seriousness, Nice, I was playing around with you, chat, but really appreciate the bits. Thank you very much.
I'm actually going to do a call out. I know for a fact when we do scheduled groups like this, betting websites pick up things we do on the channel. You guys are getting fucking rich off of EGB and shit. Maybe consider tipping the casters a little bit. I'm just saying.
Just saying. Not hating, just saying. Roach on the way here for Solar instead of the Hydra Den, which is pretty cool to see, by the way.
There's like some blackmail here. You're like, I could throw out fake scores and take the site. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, man. Hashtag scumbag Rifkin.
Yeah, War Prism comes out of the main, though, and Solar's on top of the defense. This is too well defended. There's no real easy way for Stats to get in here. I think right now he's got to be thinking one of two things. One is that he wants to keep the pressure up so that Solar's not moving out against him. Even if it's ineffective damage, it keeps Solar at home. Awesome. On the other hand, too, it's about that third. What's he doing to follow this up? Is he going to continue investing in like a semi-all-in? Because those sentries are already walking across the map, and I actually don't like this. I think that the soft contain is probably going to benefit Stats better. Because, you know, Solar's gone for Roaches. He's gone for Ravagers. He's got Baneling Speed coming out. Solar's the one's going to be hitting with a much harder, scarier army.
I agree with you. And don't forget, this big ball of Lings, which is a ton of Lings, has +1 attack as well. Going for some Prism harassment in the main. Can lift and save these Adepts. It really should. There we go. 6-range
pickup's pretty nice. Also,
it's not a bad ability.
Thank you very much, Bandicuda. Good name, 500 bits. Taco Stuff, 101. Asia, comment with 102. Oh, they're counting. I bet Twitch chat can't count to 105. That's how you bait, man.
I think my baiting was good enough.
He's not gonna get the queen for this, unfortunately. But he's keeping these Adepts alive. And again, like it's just about the soft contain. The threat is more the threat right now is more damaging than the actual attack. By forcing Solar to not drone, Solar's staying on a fairly low drone count. He's not advancing his tech. He's only on +1. Like, this is actually not bad for Stats, all things considered, unless he actually takes an army fight that he gets crushed and destroyed with.
Like, if for some reason he decides to walk down on this massive creep carpet and pick a fight with Stola having the sickest concave of all time, which he should have, by the way, it's going to go terribly for Stats. It depends on if Stats overcommits or not, really. I'm waiting to see if he drops that hammer, you know? Solar needs to do something else shortly because he is matching like 3 base Protoss with 3 base Zerg. Needs to be looking at a 4th base if he wants to keep powering ahead.
Yeah, that or at least get his tech going again. Like, okay, there we go. He finally starts up +2. He needed something. Thank you, Dares, for counting to 103. But yeah, here's what we talked about. Don't go down the bottom of this ramp. Even if you got his force fields, corrosive battles will break him. Another layer of force fields coming out of Stats. His force fields are on point, but unfortunately, still a lot of Zerg army. Choked in on this ramp would normally be a good thing if there weren't so many Banelings still in play.
And Solar just needs to be patient, man. Just wait on the creep, wait for Stats to come down. Some Banelings getting ahead of the pack here. The Lings need to get in front of these Ravagers. There they go. Sentry's getting a little bit low on energy now.
Stats is actually nailing these force fields. Like, he doesn't need a donut of force fields. He just needs to keep the Banelings back, and he's doing just that. Now he's running out of force field energy splits. Oh, big hits on the south, though.
Those were sick hits with those Banelings. A lot of the gateway units go down. 2 Immortals may get picked off. No, 1 does. A lot of these Adepts still alive or getting warped in freshly from that Warp Prism offensively for Stats. Solar reinforcing, though. He's got 4 more Banelings on the way. Already 6 of them alive and ready to go. Morphing more and more Ravagers. He's getting plus to attack for the melee as well as he transitions. And that 4th hatchery did get dropped during all of this.
So there's actually an important note to the +2 for this with the Banelings. It's not going to affect the army so much, but it will be if it gets ever to Stats' mineral line. Because it's only going to take that 1 hit to kill probes now instead of 2. But I think Stats might lose this game through his army more than his economy with the rate this has been going. That was like a really awesome standoff that they had going. Stats pulled the trigger going down that ramp, and that was just not the right move, in my opinion.
Oh, and he's getting into what he really wants, which is, you know, obviously you're going to always want that Immortal count, whether it's Roach Ravager or Hydra or otherwise. Immortals are fantastic against Lingbane Hydra and Lingbane Roach Ravager, but he needs Storm and Charge Lots to get in the face of this Zerg army while the Storms go down. Turns out chat can count for 105. Thank you, Jimmy25 for 104 and Aphasia for 105.
Oh, and some sexy noises coming on top of it. Good way to follow that up. Sniff 1990 with a $13.16 tip saying, come on, chat. We could top yesterday. Well, donations wouldn't be hard to top. Donations only hit $18 yesterday.
The bits, though.
Those bits, though. Yeah.
Those bits, though. So we got a big attack here coming from Solar. He's going for a big Baneling morph, and he's getting aggressive. He's looking like he's got that third base in his sights.
This is so sick. This is like a fortified castle barricade, dude. That's actually really awesome. But oh, the Banelings connect to those Adepts. The Immortals without anything to protect them. This is just gonna overwhelm. This is too much.
I think so. It's just too much, sir. Even if the Ravagers die here, just the Lings and Banes will finish them off. The Banelings bust on through. The Natural is open, and these Lings have plus to attack Rifkin. They are not going to stop shredding through this Protoss base.
Oh, that's gonna depower the Robo too. Probe's gonna get picked off. What little there are. That's it, guys. Solar nailed it with this great attack. And Stats was probably thinking this whole time too, like, oh, the Warp Prism would buy him more time, but nope. Game number 1 goes to Solar.
Gee jizzle. And also, resub shout out to Optional Player for 29 months in a row. Didn't want to shout you out because we did have contrary to popular belief, the primary objective here is to cast StarCraft and BaseTradeTV.
Yeah, so there was a lot of cool stuff happening in that game, guys.
Yeah,
but
that was a sick game.
What is this message here? It's Birdemic, Shock and Terror. The best movie for seeing the Zerg Solar and SLR PNLS? I almost thought he was tricking me to saying like Solar's penis, but I wouldn't be afraid to say that anyway.
Well, you just said it, so there it is.
All right, game number 2 coming up on Interloper. A lot of love coming in during that game. Thank you, Maynard, for baiting chat. Thank you, chat, for falling for it. You guys are awesome.
Hook, line, and sinker.
Let's go get Solar and Maynard in the lobby. All right.
I'm already joining off you, baby.
Nice. All right, everyone's in. Let's get into Interloper. It's game number 2. Just waiting on Stats to give us the ready. There we go. See you guys in the map. Welcome back, folks. It's game number 2 here in the preliminary match in the round of 16. Do keep in mind the round of 16 is the last stop for group play. After this, it's single elimination, and things get much, much, much more terrifying. That being said, I do want to make sure people are aware that the date we are casting this is October 19th, and the round of 8 isn't scheduled to play till probably halfway through November, well after BlizzCon, because players have got to travel to California and go back home and what have you. So, that being said, spawning here in the bottom right, we've got the blue Protoss. I kind of like saying it. I'm going to say it again. Brother Stats. I'm from the Church of Splice, baby.
Oh, we got another one of the higher ups in the congregation here. This is Splice's Solar.
Solar, if he wins the series, he's gonna be like the Pope.
Yeah, dude. He's gonna at least be like a high bishop or something, like a cardinal or whatever it's called.
Well,
forgive my ignorance, guys. Not meaning to offend anyone. I just I haven't brushed up on my Christian rankings.
I don't even want to give him better titles. I think brother just sounds good because they're kind of like brothers in arms. They're on the same team. It's got a lot of deeper meaning to it. But yo, Solar is already being very annoyed by Stats, who he wanted to just go straight to the third. Thought the piling cans would give him more leeway. There we go. Takes the natural. A little bit of annoying back and forth already here just with the workers.
Yeah, a little bit of argy-bargy back and forth. Push and shove. But nothing critical.
Well, while we wait for the game to build up, I do want to tell you guys again a little bit more about these two. Not just like, oh, you guys know who Solar and Stats are. I don't need to introduce you to them. But these guys have seriously been killing it. They not destroyed. Solar actually had a bit of a fight, but they had really good games in their Korean round of 32 groups, making it to the round of 16. And even outside of that, competing in the Alima League, the BTSL, all of these things with BlizzCon on the horizon. It's a little bit more harrowing for Stats to be doing this, of course, but Solar is free to just win everything. Either way, we make these jokes about Splice, but between TY, Solar, and Stats, Splice has won like everything we've cast with these players in it for the last like week and a half. So there is some legitimate craziness.
That base, though.
Dude, I know. Like, I almost want to make that the follower alert so just we can hear all the time, but it's so special as the donation noise.
I kind of just want that song to play the whole time during the cast. I know it's greedy, but so we got a Ling Scout here from Solar saying what's up from Stats. It's pretty regular Protoss behavior. Stargate's not uncommon in this matchup. In fact, it's extremely common.
Oh wow! So by the way, I guess Twitch Alert shows different currencies now. I misread this earlier. Sniff 1990 threw 10 euro our way apparently. I don't know if that translates to for dollars, but Dub Trub did throw $25. Thank you very much for that, dude. Wow! Any costume ideas for Halloween? Yeah. What you fellas got? Well, there's always a sexy minion. Not like that's ever been done before.
Ooh, this adept from stats spotting a big Ling train here.
Oh.
They're gonna get that around on that adept there. There she goes. Shades away.
Even if they don't kill it, it's got low enough. The queen will deal with this pretty quickly. This get like maybe 2 drone kills at most. Should only get 2 drone kills at most. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
But thank you for that $25, man. Blown out of the water already. Maynard, what's your suggestion for a Halloween costume?
I mean, if I had the money, I'd go for Predator. I already have half the.
Oh, you got the dreads. Oh, that'd be so sick.
Exactly.
Almost as sick as this drop out of Solar.
Yeah, dude. This one's gonna sting.
Oh, is he gonna see it?
He's just gonna see the end
barely.
of it. Here we go. Yep.
Okay.
He's got. The thing is, though, he doesn't have the units to spare here. He only has 2 adepts in the natural.
Yeah, we
and
see the Oracle.
He does. Oh, that's true. That's true. And also the Phoenix to bully away that Overlord as well.
Yeah, really important. You do otherwise, stats will otherwise have to sit here and waste and burn energy trying to beam on and off. So, hoping to bait more Zerglings out. Now the Phoenix is here, he's good to go. You just leave the Oracle chilling. So the front gate's covered by the Adepts.
Nice.
And this has been dealt with.
Yeah, good hold from stats. Very lucky as well that probe got down there for that pylon as well, so to give him some time to react there.
No, he's just kind of shooting at the rocks. I was wondering what he was shooting at there for a moment. But okay, Overlord's being driven off. Are also going to potentially supply block Solar. In fact, he is supply block technically right now, but 3 Overlords coming out is going to help remedy this. Solar's got to make a really hard decision right this second, though. In fact, 10 seconds ago even. Is do you keep droning? On one hand, you'd very much like to. You have to a degree. But you're going to need just the right amount of Zerglings to stop these Adepts. Otherwise, these snowball like crazy. And it doesn't matter if you made 40 drones if they all die.
Yeah, exactly right. These Lings need to get the job done here. I don't see a Baneling Nest. No, there's no Baneling Nest here for a Solar. So it's just up to the Lings to get it done. They've got +1 on the way, but it's a little ways away. So it's just unupgraded Lings. Really
nice surround, but Stats has been very good with these transfers. Not really losing much of anything so far. In fact, only 1 Adept has died. Solar going to come down from the north side, but the rocks were taken down out of Stats, so now we know Solar can only come from the left side.
To the left, to the left. Solar's singing his Lings back in the middle of the map here. He could potentially sandwich these Adepts. No, he is going to show his hand here. So Lings heading on through.
One Oracle would be all the single ladies, I guess.
Okay. Gotta put a ring on it. I forget how that song goes.
Can we just call 3 Adept attacks Destiny's Child from now on, please? GG. Wow, Adepts are cool. Stats takes game number 2.
Yeah, they killed so many drones there.
It's not even the drones. He had killed all the Lings on the way in, too. So that Oracle went to town, and Solar, as you guys saw, maybe you didn't see in the bottom right, he had like 11 army supply. Most of that was 3 queens. Like, he just had nothing to fight that. So it seems like an abrupt timeout, but it was absolutely perfect for the course of the game. That being said, guys, we're going to go to a small ad break here. This has been a couple games, and we got that feed Riff and Maynard meter already halfway full thanks to your generosity, so thank you guys so much for that. But when we get back, it'll be Mech Depot for game number 3. So just 2 minutes, go to the bathroom, get a drink. We'll see you guys soon. In no particular order. Oh, I gotta give some love to that Livy B auto host. Hanging out in her stream actually before I went to not sleep. Love that girl. But okay, guys, it's game number 3. Things have been tied up 1-1. You're watching the Ting Open Season 4, Round of 16. Make sure, of course, if you guys are watching for the United States, even if you don't plan to sign up, you still check out bttv.ting.com. Because maybe, just maybe, this is actually great for you. You never even knew about it. So again, check it out. They got a savings calculator. They got lots of information. Get that phone bill cut in half, guys. Check out Ting. But kicking things off in the bottom left, keeping with this meme, this hot, spicy meme, it's Brother Stats.
And top right, the equally spicy, but a little bit more gross because he has creep all over him. This is Splice's Solar.
Solar's like, of the two, the one that like worships the devil.
Oh, baby. Just give it to me all night long, chat.
Shallow. $5 to say dead song. Yo, did anyone else play Metal Slug? Because I had so much fun making this intro.
Yes.
Dude, the nostalgia of dying to that stupid helicopter boss 1,000,000 times over and over.
Dude,
like
Metal, that intro actually gave me, when I first saw it, gave me the sickest nostalgia trip because I used to go bowling with my mates, right? And they had like an arcade in the bowling alley, like a couple arcade machines, and Metal Slug was one of them. And I've lost hundreds of dollars to that machine, dude. I played so much Metal Guard there.
Metal Slug and Gauntlet Legends were the only actual arcade games I ever played.
Dude, Gauntlet Legends was so sick.
Dude, the amount of times I couldn't get that one piece of meat and I had to put another coin in to revive. I got suckered into my Gauntlet Legends in a bad way.
Good.
Actually, whoa. I'm now realizing, like, arcade machines were just 25 cents at a time microtransactions, man.
Yeah, dude. That's right. And now they're in StarCraft 2 in 2017. What?
Woo! Someone to chat, Coach Vickers says, BaseTradeTV, do you think Need can win BlizzCon? Is Need a replacement player taking over for one of the players that I don't know of? Or did you misspell Neeb? Either way,
Rifkin.
I'm sassy. I don't know. There's actually a lot of hype for Neeb, and I feel like this is kind of a scary amount of pressure for him to have. I know for a fact he said many times, even on Twitter, tweeting before he deleted his Twitter, I wish people would just like quit hyping me up. I think Neeb will do well. I don't know if he can win BlizzCon, but I know Neeb will do very well.
He spoke to me about it at Herr Stein. Thank you very much for that sub. Adept coming in here to help out that third pylon as well. That's delaying that third hatchery a little bit more.
Herr Stein, guten Tag.
Yeah, guten Tag, Herr Stein. Danke, mein Lieber. So the third was delayed a little bit here. This Adept is still really annoying, especially on the mothership cores here. That's the Queen should be able to deal with that. Oh wow.
Oh boy.
That's going ham, man.
Yeah, we talked about Solar being disgusting. I'm going to revise that statement. Stats is disgusting. So
this is gross.
This is something, by the way, that is kind of dedicated for him. If he were to lose the Mothership Core, or either one of the two Adepts now, this takes away a lot of power from this. Unfortunately, one of the Adepts does die. This isn't the end of this push, but it does mean he can't sit here and kill the hatchery. He can get it low, maybe try and force a cancel, but he won't be able to actually kill it. But, is he going to recall? No, he just doubles down, puts the overcharge refresh.
Second overcharge. I don't know about that one. The overcharge is going to be dealt with. He lost a lot of lings. All the queens survived, though. Third hatchery's going to get up.
This is a bit of a problem for a couple of different reasons. One is this puts stats in the hole quite a few minerals, guys. No more than Solar because it did trade out for a lot of Zerglings, you know, 17 dies for that. But the fact that the Mothership Core wasn't at home, if Solar was already in a position where he was getting ready to, say, elevator lings up to the main, man, stats would just be dead, straight up. But Solar, he's going to recover off this the best he can. Roach Horn coming down. I kind of like stroking my chin about the Roach Horn, really. We saw great use out of it on Catalina, so I can't knock it. But I just don't think roaches are really ever the default tech choice you really want to go to versus Protoss.
Yeah, I feel the exact same way. Like, I'm obviously, neither of us are ever going to be as good or even half as good as Solar ever will be, but I do question the decision to go Roach Horn against Protoss just because it seems like Baneling Nest and Hydra is just objectively better.
Yeah.
But, again, we do have Game 1 as a result, as sort of like an example of when it works very well.
By the way, Herr Stein says he's Danish. The only thing I know about Danish is Lily Canine means little rabbit. That's about it.
Yeah, I'm not very good with Danish. I know a lot more German than Danish for sure.
I know they're delicious.
Yeah, very nice.
Strawberry Danish is probably my favorite.
I like the apple. Apple's my
Really?
bag.
It would be great though if we get those value packs. You can just have all the apple ones because I hate those.
Ooh, Stats isn't ready for this one.
No, this is what I was talking about though. Like Solar, I think was gearing up for something along these lines either way. It just the timing wasn't off because he was busy with the third. Had this gotten much earlier, Stats wouldn't have anything. In fact, he barely has anything now, but he just literally wouldn't have anything. And Solar's a little bit hesitant to go in. I don't know what he's looking at right now.
He does have enough unity, but they're out of position, so the third's going to take a bit of hurt here.
Oh,
There's the Lings in the main. Mothership Core not in position. She needs to float on down here. Wow, she's super out of position. Oh my god.
Stats gonna lose like 10 plus probes here without a doubt, unless these sentries get in to save him. Couple force fields, couple shots. All right, 6 probes. Not too bad at the end of the day. Still pretty good damage and caught him off guard. And Solar, by the way, is following this up with a continued attack. Stats has very little army supply. This is my concern for this. Even if he were to use all these gateways, he doesn't have the money to warp in the warp-ins necessary. He's got a lot of sentries though. 6 sentries, 6 force fields can buy him some time.
He's got 6 sentries, 6 force fields, but there are Ravagers coming knocking Rifkin. They can, of course, Corrosive Biles. Mothership Core, what the hell are you doing? Get on down here. This is absolutely a mistake.
It's like, has he just forgotten he has it?
Yes.
There we go.
There's absolutely no reason for that to be over there. Like, it actually has to be here.
Yeah, so the Roaches you can deal with, it's the Ravagers that are the problem, because they don't take the bonus damage from the Immortals. So, as it continues to get choked in here, by the way, just easier to hit those Corrosive Piles when everything's stacked up. No overcharges stats! This isn't even a question of BlizzCon anymore. This is just like miscontrol. Like, yo, stats, pop them overcharges. But he waits till it's too late. One of the pylons already down. Second pylon now getting some damage in. Looks like he'll hold this for now, but this was about as messy as it could have been for stats.
Yeah, I mean, he had like 6 sentries, now he has 2. A lot of them went down. Immortals took some biles, a bunch of the gateway units took some biles as well. He had to obviously use a lot of money to reinforce that attack, whereas Solar kind of just reinforced it with Lings. And he dealt with an Adept harassment back at home, losing 2 drones back at home. Solar in a lovely position economically. He's nearly on 50 workers already.
Let's see if he can hold this push, though. Keep in mind, a lot of his units that are retreating right now are very low from that first attack. Zerglings make up the majority of this, so the Adepts aren't too scared. I think that stats can't extend further because he doesn't have a Warp Prism, but he does a great job capitalizing, picking off like a couple of Ravagers and Roaches on the way back.
I'm still a little shocked that there's no Baneling Nest here for Solar. I think that it's like something that you need against Protoss, but he's just straight up going Roach Ling, man.
So this is where the logic of Roaches really comes into play, because Corrosive Biles are kind of like Banelings. If they hit, they'll do that nice splash, and ideally Banelings wouldn't hit because of Force Fields or Adepts focusing them down. I mean, don't get me wrong, I agree. Like, I think if you get those Baneling hits in the core of the army, it's always going to be better. But I can see the logic behind the Ravagers for sure.
Prisms here to warp in, 7 Adepts at a time, plenty of gateways on the power here. The 6th sentry count is back. They don't have tons of energy banked up on these sentries, but they do have enough to really ruin Solar's day here if they get up to that ramp. They're closing on in.
Well, there's those force fields to keep the things back. The Ravagers are using the Corrosive Biles on the force fields instead of the army, so that's kind of nice for stats, but while this goes on, of course, he gets Adepts into the main. You know, that Warp Prism shuttles some things up there. As he continues to dance around the outside of the base, Solar now has to decide how much of his army does he send back. Can he send any of it back? The drones are just dying off while this goes on.
And he's throwing in some Stalkers now to help out against those Ravagers as well. The Immortals very, very critical in this army composition.
Oh, those force fields are so sick.
Yeah, beautiful force fields. Even when he biles it down, Stats just replaces it with another one. Some of these reinforcements not joining the fight here. Stats is starting to trade, but these Immortals need to stay alive.
Well, this is where the numbers get really interesting. Stats has a very small army supply compared to Solar, but as we can see, the Immortals tear through the Roaches, and the Roaches make up a majority of like this really inflated supply. This ends up crushing Stats' attack, but I don't know how much better off Solar is for this. Actually, he's gonna be pretty well off. He actually gets a nice Ling run by into the main. And
again, the lack of 3rd Nexus is hurting Stats so much here as the game continues. We got Solar nearly up 40 on supply here. He's poop and creep on that 3rd as well. And on Mech Depot, if you take your 3rd anywhere then into the north, it's tough to reinforce by ground. Like, as Protoss you can warp in, but the 3rd anywhere else than to the north is a little bit tough to defend.
Well, both the Immortals are still alive, and he's not really doing that much with them, but he is keeping Solar's army at home. Keeps the army at home, then maybe this 3rd base gets up. Stats and Solar are both on this weirdly funky economy. No one's quite peaking at 2K. Workers are generally low for what their bases are. Like, nobody's really running away with this game yet. But with Solar going for that Spire, as much as I like the idea of DTs or even the Archons, I feel like Spire is going to trump everything Stats does, because Stats is going to have no anti-air. In fact, he doesn't have...
a brilliant decision here.
There's no blink. He went for charge. So he's really going to get screwed by this Spire.
Yeah, like Archons, yes, they trade very well against Mutalisks, but they're slow and they rely on the Prism to get around. And the Mutas are being made because he wants to kill this Prism. And also Stats. Like, some Zergs will just make 6 Mutas just to deal with a Warp Prism. I actually think that a Solar just went ham on Mutas and spent his entire gas bank on Mutas. I think that's actually going to end the game.
I agree. Bly is a really good example of somebody who likes to go like a very specific amount of Mutas when he likes to harass and not overboard, but I think the danger of this is for Solar, and he's going to realize this too, whether it's an Archon Blast or Stats getting the time to throw down Stargates, like either way he knows that this could be a problem. And also this 3rd base for Stats was this a fake? I kind of feel like it was.
Probed. Yeah, it's not probed. He's only been making units.
Oh,
DTs are up.
There's no detection. Solar's going to make Overseers right away, but there's no detection preemptively for this.
I think an Overseer should finish in the natural before the DTs do too much damage. Oh, that said though, that 3rd, the Mortal's helping out a ton as well. Oh no, that 3rd base is going to go down 100%. The DT's got it done, man. Never mind, I didn't see those DTs as 3rd. The natural should be held here, but the 3rd goes down. And now Solar needs to kind of end this game.
He set up all the drones all over the place, every which way, everyone long distance mining. Solar actually just took a huge blow to his economy. If, and this is a big if, guys, Stats can somehow survive the mutas, he may have just got himself back into this. But it's 6 stalkers, and that's about it.
Ooh, yeah, mutas don't generally win this fight here, but the stalkers, whoa, actually reinforcement, never mind. Those stalkers are going to actually go down.
He's already pulled the probes.
Yeah.
He's like, no,
he's just
not
like,
wasting time. But, so here's the thing about mutas, though. They take a long time to actually kill everything, despite how good they are. You know, they're more harassment units, not like building killers. So Stats is saying, fine, I'm just going to all in. It's a base trade at this point in a weird way, at least for one of the players. Because Stats isn't going to try and defend at home. He's going to try and crush Solar with what he has on the ground, and he might just be able to pull it off. But some Banley's waddled the front lines. Took a long time to get that Banley nest out, but it's finally here.
He's going to rely on that Prism Immortal Micro here to get the job done. He doesn't currently have the army to get it done right now. He does have a very high-hitting army, but Solar does have a very, very scary unit composition. And those piles actually connected with the Immortals as well.
That should not have happened. There should still be 5 Immortals standing,
Another
now down to 3.
Guys. The Prism needs to help
That's
here.
it.
The Mutants
That's
are going to
game.
take it out. GG. Yeah.
Oh, that was a hell of a game. Both players making some crazy stuff happen, and Solar ultimately takes the 2-1. But
did I not tell you, chat, before the series even started, I knew this was going to be a close series. Did I not tell you?
Well, 2-1, not over yet. We'll see if Stats brings it back. Map number 4 is going to be Abyssal Reef. It's actually a pretty generic map here. I wouldn't say this favors either player.
I kind of feel that it helps Protoss a little bit against Zerg. I think it's actually not a bad PvZ map, personally. Just because of choke points, you know, being able to defend on multiple places is a little bit easier, but to me, personally.
Oh, I forgot about that. I meant to ask you about this yesterday morning when we were casting. Zombie and I were actually debating you while we were on cast the other night.
You're debating me? Debating me?
Well, rather an aspect of you. Does the Maynard curse for series only happen at live events?
Yes.
Okay.
It's purely for live events. Like, it amazes me that DreamHack and Blizzard keep hiring me for shit, because they'll make me hire a series and it'll be a stomping. They even decided, Maynard, you've had a great 2017. We're going to give you a grand final at WCS Montreal. And I'm like, wow, that means so much to me. I've never had a grand final this big before to cast. 4-0 stomp.
Well, more on that in a moment, guys. Players want to get going. Let's hop into Abyssal Reef. All right, folks, welcome back. Series is not over yet, but it might be with this game, because unfortunately, one of our 2 players is on match point. And I've actually just realized I've got the score. It's 2-1 for Solar, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes, Solar's 2-1. He's on match point.
That sugar's already wearing off, man. All right, so at the top left, he's looking to take the series. It's Splice's Solar.
And in the bottom right here, looking to tie it up, this is Splice's Stats. Brother Stats.
Brother Solar. It's like the Blues Brothers. Just put some sunglasses on them. But yeah, so Maynard and I were kind of talking about this before we got into the game, and Maynard, when he casts offline, yeah, he gets really one-sided series. It's unfortunate. But I was going to mention, between us and him casting on the channel, man, we've ended up having some fantastic games. Like, for me, I think the most memorable that's going to stay memorable for a while was, like, TY versus Innovation, BTSL Finals a week ago. Like, we've had some really #blessed games here.
True that. Let's hope that the hype train keeps coming, by the way.
Well, so,
and also... Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, actually, on that note, this leads to a really interesting setup. If Solar wins this, guys... then we have another 2 ZvPs. If Solar loses this, then it's a ZvZ and a PvP. So for those of you out there who don't like mirror matchups, start praying for Solar. See if you can clean this up 3-1.
Get those bless RNGs out there in the chat. Get those prayers out. Someone in chat reminded me that I was actually in the middle of talking about something that Neeb talked to me about in Montreal, about BlizzCon specifically. So Neeb, he's one of those guys that's really, really reserved and awkward and weird when he's on stage interviewing Smix or Mal or whatever. Like, he doesn't like being on stage interviewed. He doesn't like the spotlight. He doesn't like all that attention and that sort of stuff. But when he's off camera and just chilling at a bar or something like that, he's actually a very chill guy. He'll talk to you about anything, and he's very eloquent. He's lovely. And he was telling me that he's actually he believes in himself for BlizzCon, but he is still afraid of Terrence. He has belief in his ability to win PvP and PvZ, but his PvT is what he's afraid of. So that's an important thing to think about with so many of those scary Terrans from Korea coming over for BlizzCon.
That's interesting, and I'll comment that in a second, but I don't want to miss out on that very wonderful donation we just had from Janie Jane.
Oh, yeah.
$5, and they know it. They said, you love it. That's right. Let's play that music again. That's how much we love it. It's just...
Yeah, give it to me, Rifkin. Oh, baby. Janie Jane, you know what's good for me. Janie Jane all night long.
Thank you, Janie Jane. But I was going to comment on the fact that, like, it's funny that Neeb would be worried about Terrans, I think. If for no other reason, the fact that we've seen a lot of really solid Protoss versus Terrans, not cheesy builds where it's like some proxy Oracle wrecks somebody and it's like a laughable series. But again, I referenced like yesterday's entire tournament, stats versus every best Terran in Korea. Like moments like that, games like that, if Neeb looks at those games, it's not about copying the build, but just seeing that like, oh, if stats can manhandle these guys, like I probably can too.
Yeah. I mean, that was back in Montreal, and your level of play can change in a couple months in StarCraft 2 very easily, so...
Neeb has gone so hardcore with this, by the way, guys. He deleted every VOD he had on Twitch. He's deleted his Twitter. There's like no easy way to find any record of him whatsoever right now. He's in super hardcore, like, I want to win BlizzCon mode. So that's kind of cool to see, but also cool to see Solar going for a very quick Overlord drop. I kind of commented about how, you know, stats may have had some weakness to this before. I don't think this build's particularly weak to it. But, oh no, Less goes on. The Oracle did get into the mineral line. The Spore Call came down a little bit late, so 7 drones died. He's looking to pay back that damage.
Yeah, no pylons here or anything like that. Obviously, he opened Stargates, and the Mothership Core is also delayed. And down come those lings. Are they going for the main? Looks like they are.
That's an interesting choice to skirt around the natural, and neither base has pylons really protecting the mineral line, so they're both okay. I guess the difference is, with no warp-ins to the main, it's a little bit better for Solar, because the drones will have to fully retreat instead of dancing around a pylon warping in units.
Good news for Solar is that the Oracle and Adepts are completely out of position here, so these probes need to fend for themselves.
Alright, so last time this happened, Solar got surrounded pretty quickly. This time, it doesn't get surrounded as easily or as quickly, and there's the 9 probes. I know somebody in chat was very quick to call me out on this, and I was wrong with my number, but when you don't get surrounded by probes, and you actually get the damage in there, it's a lot closer to 10. And this time, Solar gets to show that off just like a little bit better. So this is some pretty good return damage, and now both players are on just very low worker counts overall.
Yeah, Phoenix coming in here out of the Stargate to be able to bully away this Overlord. The Overlord has speed, so it can, you know, be a little bit abusive here. He may actually try and pick off that low health probe.
Yeah,
nope, he's going for a fresh one. And he does. That's super worth it. I mean, so that's 11 probes in total.
He's going all in with this, though, Maynard. We got 4 queens being shuttled across the map. He's got to stop these Adepts before he goes, though.
He should be fine here against these Adepts. Going to lose a few more drones, but not too bad.
All right, well, as he comes across the map, this is something that, like, to be perfectly clear, guys, this Overlord full of queens, a little bit of micromanaging, couple transfuses, this can kill the Oracles, this can kill the Mothership Core, and with a Zergling backup, the Adepts shouldn't actually be a problem. All he has to do is not fight within the range of the overcharge.
Yeah. And that's going to be tricky here, but he does have this little spot right here. The queens go down, they got energy for transfuses. The Phoenix going to lift one of the queens out. That last one didn't get transfused because the other 2 queens didn't have the energy for it.
Yeah.
One of the Oracles gets picked up here.
Stats quickly identified which queens had energy, and oh my god, that is so sick. Like, this still might be a problem for Stats. He still might not have won the game or held this just yet, but like, man, the way he just actually controlled the queens was brilliant, and some split-second decision-making.
Yeah, really did what he could with what he has here, but he is starting to lose hold of this third, though. The Oracle is out of energy, no more pylons to overcharge.
Killing the third's the bare minimum, though. I mean, Solar has to still do a lot more to make this worthwhile.
I agree. Getting this ball of Adepts killed would be nice, but he decides to pull back.
Oh, this is trouble. You know, okay, so he brings the queens and drops them. This means injects weren't going on behind this. This way Solar's floating a little bit of money right now. On top of this, the fact is that his drones are low because of the cut to make this happen. Again, killing the third would be the bare minimum, and he hasn't even done that yet. So there's a lot of problems for Solar right now in this game.
I agree with you, and another fresh Oracles come down as well with enough energy to really bully these lings around. And Solar's being so careful here. This is his army right now, and he can't win this fight.
By the way, I'm just going to put this out there. I don't think this is a rule that needs to be said, because we don't have it written down. But if you guys make jokes about match fixing in chat, we're just going to ban you. That's not cool.
Yeah, get the hell out of here.
This is still Solar doubling down. He brought 3 more queens across the map. Bailing Nest is finishing up. He may wait for the Bailings in the +1, but the problem is if he does, that means there might be more Oracles to deal with, so he's kind of got to go now, and he takes the shot, goes for the surround. Queen's getting picked up once again. The Oracle's going to town. I love the pickup in the Overlord, though, to just buy
really
time to
nice
the Queens. Not enough time, though.
Yeah, the Queens are out of energy by the looks of things. The Ling's getting shredded up by these Adepts. Overcharges went down, but I mean, the Mothership Core is down rather than the Oracles are doing the job here with the Adepts to help them out. The Queens are going to get beaten down as well. The Overlord, in fact, killed by the Phoenixes. GG. Stats. Ties it up. 2 apiece.
Ooh, game number 5. If you guys are in chat and you're a subscriber to the channel, make sure to use that Ace Match emote. But we're going to go to... Well, he does it for me.
Wait.
Okay, while Maynard is doing this, guys, we're going to play our commercial break, get it out of the way. So 2 minutes. We'll be back for game number 5. We'll see you soon. All right, ladies and gentlemen, for the millionth time, here we are. Game number 5 in this series. Technically game number 8. But it is match number 5. Things are tied up 2-2. We have a couple of guests coming at us for the Church of Splice, blessing us with their teachings and their presence. And one of which in the bottom right is the Red Protoss, Brother Stats.
And our Stats, who art in top left. Hello be his main. This is Solar.
Oh, I love it. I wish I had it like some sort of like that ominous church choir like in the background while you're doing that too. It was so perfect. But yeah, these guys have had things. This has been so nice, guys. And I gotta say, I didn't expect this to go to game 5, but Maynard called it.
Oh. Yeah, dude. I knew this was gonna be a close series.
I'm telling you, whoever Jane is out there, dude, she's got our backs. Jane,
back, man.
Coming with another $5 to say for the love of the wub.
God. Wub's out of game and Wub's in game. Loving this Wub. I'm getting wubbed up and down.
I already said it once. I'm trying not to do another Rick.
Yeah, no, we're good. We're good. We've done it.
All right, so for Solar and Stats, frankly, this has been a little bit of a weirder series. Hard to say that there's been too much normalness to it, but we're seeing Stats do pretty good builds, pretty normal builds in terms of like, okay, here's the Oracle, here's the Phoenix, how I'm going to handle them. And like that last game for me, regardless of whatever you guys want to call out for hiding builds or hiding playstyle, Stats all day yesterday was making some insane decision making that people are rolling their eyes at because it was Oracles. Fine, I'll give you that much. But just now with the Queens, like to identify which Queens had the energy for transfuses, pick up and control the one that he could pick up and do it exactly correctly and focus on the other one, like that is some split-second decision making. He didn't waste a single shot. He didn't misclick on one of the other queens and then go to the right queen. Like he handled that so perfectly. It's moments like that, and you see this actually on his stream a lot too, the rare times he streams. I love Stats, man. I'm actually like the biggest Stats fan when it comes down to it.
Oh, he's a god. Like there's no reason why he shouldn't have a huge fan base. Oh, we're going to come in here and block the third. Nice little move there.
Actually, Stats says... So Stats Fighting was my favorite emote on Twitch for a while. And I don't know if you guys have seen this or not. If someone's in chat got it, pop it.
Yeah,
actually, I'm subbed. I could probably do it. But he's got a new one that I didn't know about until recently. Stats Smile. And when I went to his chats yesterday and hosted them, everyone was doing this weird meme because they called Stats cool. So they're like, cool stats. And then like the Stats Smile emote. It's like the cockiest thing I've ever seen. I'm right in chat.
Do it.
I loved it. Just everyone that was a sub in his channel that was in Korean was even writing it in English. Just spamming that yesterday. So good.
Perfect. I see.
Anyways,
Yep, go on.
Well, I was gonna say, cool stats is also solid stats. It has gone for the Oracle again, and I like this because we've seen, if nothing else, stats can do a lot of magical things with Oracles, stasis traps, scouting, you name it. Oh, this is a fast Overlord speed out of Solar too. This is a really good scout you got.
Immediately after Ling speed got that, so it's basically the fastest Overlord speed that's sensible. Stats is getting that Phoenix again as well because he doesn't want to have no Ling drops to worry about this game. They've done a lot of damage to him in previous games.
Yeah, and even if they haven't, it's just the fact that Solar's gone for it, like a majority of this this best of 5.
Oracle's going to help out a bit here. There is enough Lings to bully back these depths. In fact, going to kill 2 of them. Maybe a third. Ooh, wow. That's a huge
Oracle's really bad.
Yeah, that's terrible for Stats.
By the way, this guy in chat, the Panicoek, is asking about the t-shirt. This was a limited run shirt we had for about a month. It's a really cool, specifically like made for sale graphic. It's like a graffiti thing. We may put up new versions of it in the future, but right now we actually have no merch for sale at all. No shirts, no nothing.
Rip.
Rip. We'll get that sorted later, though. The problem I'm having is Amazon put up that really cool new store, right? Everyone's seen the news for this. And because my building is so new, even though it's the legal registered address for BaseTradeTV Incorporated, they won't accept it because they can't find it on Google Maps.
Because no one's sure it exists, yeah. I know the feel, like, when you move into a new place. That's, like, literally been built, like, within the last few months.
Yeah, so we got plans for, like, jerseys and shirts and other things, guys, to come eventually. But not now, unfortunately. Anyways, these adapts get into the mineral line, but Solar actually pulled off the drones. I mean, already this is indirect damage. Losing a whole base worth of mining, even if it doesn't kill a lot of drones, it's still that nice little spike.
Yeah, I think he's killed one drone, but the 2 adepts dying is yeah, it's not cheap. It's 200 minerals apiece, 50 gas as well.
This is problems. Stats is going to have a really scarce defense on either side of his base right now. He actually has nothing. Like, his production's only just finished up. His mothership core can overcharge this pylon, but he might just be better off canceling the Nexus. There's just no way he has any sort of army.
Links. Way too many links here. And the Oracle's not here to zap them down either.
No. Okay, there we go. Whew.
Yeah, I mean,
so
surely Stats is too good to let that get killed.
He made an Archon, which I think is really interesting. With a bit of micro and this Warp Prism, he can probably clean up the links now. But the fact that he had to cancel his third really sets us off for timing. But he's
and that was very close to the third being done as well.
He's doing some really sick things behind this, though. The +1 in the charge, this would annihilate Hydras if that was the case. They're going to 2-shot Zerglings, so those won't be a problem. And frankly, while +1 Zealots aren't that effective against Roaches, charge lots with +1 are.
Cancel again. Beautiful play from Solar here. Nearly killing the probe. A hot pick up on that Prism to make sure the probe lives. Trying to get that third as quickly as he possibly can, but it's been delayed and cancelled twice.
This is problems for Stats. This has gone beyond, like, little bits of damage now. A second cancel really delaying this? I mean, yeah, it's the fact that you're not mining, but it's also, like, that third chrono that's missing. There's a lot that comes from this Nexus being shut down this many times.
Yeah, and it kept the Archon at home as well. 2 Archons are heading across the map right now, but the Spore's already in place.
And Solar's... That Spire's gonna be nasty. That Spire's gonna be like deadly nasty. So Solar, yeah, okay, maybe there'll be Archons. Last time we saw this, the Muta swap, there's only like 3 Stalkers in play. But I don't think that that's gonna work. Not against the Archons this time around. If he goes around the army, maybe he picks up a Warp Prism, does probe damage, that could work out for Solar and Mutas, but he's not going to be able to fight head-on with his army with Mutas. Roaches are much more dependable, and even those are going to have a hard time fighting against this.
Well, so many Roaches, though. The thing is that Stats is going to try and hitting in 2 places at once, although these attack in the north, like heading towards the Naturals, a little bit piddly. Ling run by here, looking for some probe kills. Looks like they're just going to die to the overcharge here.
I was wondering if he's going to start doing some drag and drop tactics or not. Did he ever get eyes on that Spire, by the way? No, he did not.
No, he didn't, no.
Oh, and he's starting Storm.
That's huge. That's huge.
This is like the worst thing to go. He's going for Storm and Archons against like Roaches and Mutas. This is not exactly what he wants to have going for him. Because let's not forget, he still has the Stargate. Like if he realized it was Mutas, he could start pumping Phoenix right now and he'd be able to intercept this. But no scouting for Stats is the worst thing for him right now. And in fact, this attack in the main's not going to scout it because the Spire's put in the natural or the third base. Excuse me.
Yeah, it's a third. And the Mutas are out. So the first time he's going to see Mutas is when they're shooting his stuff.
No, the Archons won't have to worry too much. It's the Warp Prisms that'll get picked off. He knows where this is too because of the Overlord Scouts. In fact, he's choosing very intentionally not to go for that. This is brilliant. This is a little bit brave too, and brave can sometimes be another word for stupid, but by going across the map and going for the probe kills, it guarantees that he'll get some damage done because everything will be across the map. Sure, the Warp Prism might still get some damage in, but I think in his mind, he'll do more damage with the Mutas than that Warp Prism could do to him.
Hello, Only Phoenix. As this flock of Mutas head into the main base of Stats.
Oh no, look at that very important pylon! I don't know what name you'd use to describe a pylon so important, but... Oh.
That's the only Stargate. Yeah, and that's actually maybe a cancel next eye here as well. Not enough units to break this Roach count. Solar is a god. Look at this kid. Goodbye, Archons. Goodbye, Zealots.
That roach hug. It's not the type of hug you want. If I think I kill the Archon with the Mutas, it's got so few shields.
Yeah.
He knows it too.
Yeah. And the charge loss will go down as well to these to the glaives. Charge loss in the main trying to get the job done. They're going to trade very nicely against the Lings, but Hydras are out now.
Oh man, Solar's got this game. Look at that army supply.
Yeah,
Forget the overall supply. The army supply is already 3-1.
Yeah, he is up 70 army supply here, actually almost 90. There's a ton of army supply advantage here.
Yeah, you know what's sick about this too? I mean, we're kind of cheering on Solar to win as a bit of a joke because we wanted ZvPs all day, but this is actually going to set up for Solar versus Hero in the winners match and a Laser versus Stats in the losers if that's the way this rounds out. And a Laser and Stats is another like wannabe BlizzCon match.
Yeah, true that. He managed to squeeze out 3 Phoenixes here, but I got to tell you, chat,
you know,
the ground army is the scary part here.
The Storms can deal with the Hydras maybe, not so much the Roaches.
Yeah, Roaches don't care about Storms.
Oh,
they can take a couple.
They ignore the Phoenix to go for the Templar. That loses him a lot of Mutas. But looks like the Grand Army's still good. 2-1 for that supply. A lot of Roaches is coming in. A lot of Roaches almost dead though. Stats so close to making this look manageable, but there's just no way he holds this.
I feel like 2 more Storms, maybe a third Immortal, and that would have looked very different, but unfortunately, just got the critical mass that he needed there. Charge lot reinforcement, but now the Roaches have the safety of the mineral patches to move into, so the charge lots are not going to get that service area. GG. Solar wins with a 3-2 over Stats. I told you guys it'd be close. I told you guys Solar would do well against Stats. Told you. There it is.
That was a great game. That was a really great series too, going all the way to the 5 matches. Definitely made up for that abrupt first one of the day. But now we're going to get to test a Laser once more and see whether this was the dynamic of not wanting to fight Hero before BlizzCon, or maybe it's just the matchup / the server problems, right? I know, for example, a Laser is one of these players who, as good as he is, he will rarely be coaxed to play off server. It takes a lot of money to get him to play off server. So a Laser versus Stats, this could be interesting. I think, you know what's funny about this though, Maynard? I think if Solar lost, I think a Laser could beat Solar in a ZvZ. I truly do.
I agree. So
the fact that this is Stats might be a Laser's worst nightmare. Either way, we're going to go to a word from our sponsors, guys. It's that sponsored ad break time. So do stick around for that. Otherwise, it's safe to say you can probably take about a 10-minute break and not miss much. Stats. Oh my god. But yeah, let's see. Before we go, how many follows we at for today? Not the front page. It's a little bit hard to get those new follows, but up to 57. Not bad. 63 bucks in the jar too. Thank you guys for that generosity. And about 1,700 bits. So we're off to a pretty nice start for the group. But we are going to, like I said, go to... Solar. So funny. Solar's throwing shade right now.
Yeah, he's saying goodbye, Laser.
All right, guys. TING is a U.S. mobile phone service. There's a lot of great things to be said about them, but we'll let them say them themselves and see you guys in a little bit.